We are live, people.
We're live.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Pretty excited about the show, actually.
Are you? Why?
I don't know, because we were supposed to do it yesterday. I felt like crap, and now I'm back in the game.
Same.
I'm in it to win it.
Same.
Same.
Exact same feelings over here on the side of the table.
Okay, let's get right into it.
Go ahead.
Today, we were at a place, and a man was wearing his mask.
Yes.
And he started openly saying out loud around everyone else who wasn't wearing their masks. There was no one else wearing their masks.
This is an outdoor venue.
Yes. Outdoor venue. And we're hanging out. No one is wearing their masks except for this family. And he openly says, "Well, I'm just so sick of all these assholes and they're not wearing masks. They're all going to die at the end of the year. They're all going to die."
He said it so loudly, too.
I know. Everything in me wanted to be like, you trying to say something, dog?
There are thousands of people at this place not wearing masks.
Right.
It's outdoors.
Right.
Everyone else was trying to have a good time. And this guy comes to a crowded place on purpose that you need tickets for.
But seriously, the place was so crowded.
Yeah.
If you're concerned, don't come.
Right.
Why is that so revolutionary?
I know.
Like, I guess that's a good thought.
I'm like, okay, I mean, he was an a-hole and so rude.
He had his little Las Vegas shirt on.
Yeah, he was so insanely rude.
Yeah.
But I could have understood the rudeness.
Lion, dog, face, pony, soldier.
Right.
Because of the level of fear, of everyone. Yes. But I'm sorry, we are
it's too much.
We're done now.
Yeah, it's June 2021.
Yeah.
And
look around you, bud.
Right.
Read the room.
Right. Oh, that's an important trait in life.
Read the room.
No, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane and read the room.
If everyone in that outside event was all wearing masks except for us, then
also
maybe I understand.
To be fair,
you're being a jerk, but you have cover.
To give him some credit, he was wearing a very thin cloth mask.
Oh yeah,
so
he had a little cat mask.
So he was really
with a little cat face. They had a little.
He was really concerned about his own protection with his thin fabric cloth mask.
Yes. And let's not add the guy was about 60, 70 pounds overweight.
Right. Let's forget about the fact that he's probably pre-diabetic.
All these mother effers aren't wearing masks, and
they're gonna die. I want to continue making poor life decisions, and it's everyone else's job to protect me.
Right. I'm really vulnerable because of my own healthy choices I make every day when I go home to eat.
But I want everyone to live the way in order to protect me.
Right.
But I want to protect you in your expensive healthcare bills.
I know. Just like, can you believe people have that perspective?
No. Everyone's so collective. Everyone thinks, I don't know. Maybe they all listen to the same newscast, and then they're all just like, "Yeah, we all believe this way." And here's just like all. If you don't wear a mask,
New York.
Right?
This isn't California.
Well, if you're not wearing a mask in public, you're obviously a Trump supporting QAnon theory. You're probably generating 6 riots.
Public, outside.
I know.
In the summer.
It's so freaking hot outside. It's unreal.
Some people just don't believe the science.
And I'm all about science, so I'm letting the science speak for itself right now. And what you don't understand is science changes.
That was the best Harris impersonation. Remember that.
Thank you.
I'm speaking.
I'm speaking. I want to do that to people more. I think it's a healthy thing to do.
To call people out for interrupting.
Yes. No, it's what you do. She does it when she's losing an argument.
Of course she does.
And then she before she lets them finish, she goes,
I'm still talking. I know you're gonna rebut.
So anytime I say something stupid in life, I'm just gonna if I say something stupid I'm gonna punch you in the face, and they're like, you're like,
I'm speaking. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I'm gonna punch you and slap you. Okay.
I mean, to someone you don't know, it is very startling. And like it, if I didn't know the person and could call them on their BS,
right.
I would be like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was just not trying to interrupt you. Complete your thought, please. Right. But if I know you and you do that to me,
I'm just like,
why do you cut the BS?
No, it doesn't make any sense. It's like a weird nervous tick she has that.
I'm speaking. I want guys. I'm going to the border. I haven't been to Europe, but I'm going to the border.
I haven't been to Europe. We share a border with Europe.
we share.
I haven't been there.
Okay.
Oh man, I haven't heard from her in a while. In fact, I don't hear a lot about Joe Biden either.
Isn't that interesting?
I know. It makes you wonder. It's all because he's not tweeting.
Who are we hearing news about?
We're hearing news right now that in Georgia, Ralph Warnock and Stacey Abrams are pretending now that they were always for voter ID instead of calling it what they did not too long ago, Jim Crow.
Wait, the people in Georgia?
Yeah.
The ones who
Democrats. They're like flipping because they.
The reason why the MLB All-Stars left the state.
Yes. I totally forgot about that. Thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
What a bunch of idiots. I think
the irony is too rich. It's too rich.
I just don't understand. Like, I guess they assume that their supporters don't watch any of the news whatsoever.
Accurate.
Which is kind of sad. I mean, the low information voter is real.
Absolutely, it's real.
But those people don't think they're low information though.
Yeah, because they'll watch they'll watch CNN or MSNBC for 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
They'll watch their TikToks.
10 minutes, 3-4 times a week, and
right.
they'll feel. They get to the point where they feel informed about what's going on, and then they change the channel, which is fine. I get it.
Right.
News is boring.
Yeah.
But it becomes a problem when they vote on behalf of the rest of us.
Right.
Or with the rest of us.
Right.
Who are trying to stay as informed as possible and can read between a lot of lines.
Imagine that. Yeah, I don't understand how they can to call something, it's just like calling somebody racist. It's like, if you call something Jim Crow, that's a pretty incredible statement considering what Jim Crow laws actually were.
Right.
And
you'd think they'd reserve that for something like.
Yeah, reserve. That's a fun word for liberals.
We're not about reserving. We're about progressing.
Yes. Progression.
Moving the ball forward. Always.
Even the word progressive is like, it's cunning because it's attractive at first. You're like, yeah, yes. I want to move forward.
I like progress.
I want to be new and fresh and stay current and, do what's best for the times.
Yeah. Progress makes me feel good.
Progress.
So I'm going to vote in that party line.
Progress. Progressive.
And make sure you have progressive auto insurance because it's really important in life.
If you're progressive and you don't have progressive auto insurance, what are you doing with your life?
You're wasting. Have USAA like a true American, like we are. Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand how they can walk that back because it literally makes no sense that there was like constant news stories about people mocking it and saying, I use an ID to check out a library. And they're just like, no, we were always for that.
Yeah, so what was their revelation?
Oh, they're like still harping on the fact that they're harping on the theory, or what they constantly push is that there's voter suppression. And they just they throw these words out without any kind of basis when they talk sometimes, and you're just like,
so they do want an ID.
They're okay with ID apparently now, even though before it was
there was
direct quotes of them saying that they're not okay with it.
Of course, but they're.
USA Today took out like a whole section of a Stacey Abrams article where she stated that. And they always throw that in the back end. That was
And she updated her article, so if you try to search it, you won't be able to notice it anymore.
Deceitful.
Of course, yeah, of course.
See,
what a silly thing to be deceitful
why do they
about,
think
though.
anyone trusts them when they just blatantly do that? They literally cover the truth.
Right.
Like, it is just some of these people at the freaking big media companies.
Oh my gosh.
They're the most disgusting people on earth.
I know. I'm excited to see what comes. Did you see that Detroit weather woman or something? She's speaking out against media too, just like that Fox reporter.
From Houston?
Yeah, but this one's from Detroit, and I think she just did an interview or is about to do an interview with Project Veritas, but it's probably about the same. It's probably about same stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, that AC cutting off really threw me for a loop.
Same.
That was like sharp. But yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's super wild. And then the white accountability groups that I report on today, remember I told you about?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's a cult.
Right.
How much more like a cult without saying you're a cult could you be?
I don't know.
It'll be interesting in like 40 or 50 years. We're still alive, like looking at the documentaries they make about today's era.
Seriously though.
All the just all the propaganda, the deceitfulness, the censorship.
Yeah.
Actual suppression of ideas, values. Just wild. And then the whole race thing. It is just so prevalent. I don't know about you.
Talk to me.
I have started to actually feel like
Don't say.
not insecure, but like when I go in public places,
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel like I am being judged already for the color of my skin.
I see what you're saying. Like
As a white female person now.
Right.
I'm starting to
People are like automatically assuming stuff, like stuff that you don't like or something, or what do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel maybe it's in my head or maybe it's not. I don't know. I just feel like all of this propaganda about like white fragility and white privilege and
Yeah.
we are the oppressor. I'm starting to feel like that what people are thinking, walking
Right. No,
around
I know.
And like going into stores and stuff.
And has that made you feel less more crazy because of that, or
Absolutely.
Right.
I feel like I'm living in the past.
Right. Like how so?
Like this isn't progress.
More segregated?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And it's I don't know, it's scary. Scary thought.
I honestly that's kind of what I said at the end of my show today, was that this has made me more hesitant and nervous to walk up to other people that are different than me, that I don't know, like culturally, different skin color, whatever. Like, what news source do you watch? Because based on that, or whoever you get your information from, you might automatically assume something of me or hate me for some reason, or see me as the oppressor.
Yes.
And I think that doesn't do it just makes our relationships way worse.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because people aren't allowed to form opinions on you based on their interaction with you.
Right.
It's based on what they see on TV.
Right.
And, part of that I think is his fault for sure.
Yeah.
But it's also, some of it has to be the fault of the to not understand what kind of disgusting filth you're being fed every day.
Right.
And to continue turning it on the same and being okay with people telling you to judge other people by the color of their skin. Like, how can you continue to be fed that and watch that and then, like, be okay with it and continue to watch that same program?
I don't know. I think maybe because they're racist. I honestly don't understand how someone with a logical brain could watch. Like, I've been doing critiques on MSNBC, and a lot of things that they're doing is so blatantly racist, but they're saying, so the new ploy is not to be against racism, it's to be anti-racist.
Right.
And so that is, but in that idea is inherently racist. It's like, we're not, we're against fascism, we're anti-fascist. So it's like an oxymoron a lot with these words. Is like the anti thing is actually what it's for.
Right. No, you're totally right.
It's so, I don't understand why people don't pick up on that.
And I think the term racist has been like so watered down now.
Oh, it's so bastardized.
Yeah. It's so watered down. And it almost, like, it's still so emotionally charged. Yeah. But people throw it around. Yeah. The blanket, so many things that they see as a small negative part of people or society or whatever.
Right.
It's like,
what does that word even mean? Is that
actually racist to you?
Yeah,
or do you think that person is just being a douche?
I know.
When, like,
I've said that like a million. Yeah, right. It's like, people are now looking for signs of racism when it's somebody just being a total asshole, or just like, maybe they were having a bad day and they blurted out something or said something or reacted in a certain way, and they're not necessarily racist, but they're like, I don't know, like they're attributing it to racism just because someone's a jerk.
Yeah, and like,
so weird.
It's crazy to me how it's like, okay, if this person is being the douche,
right,
and they're of one skin color, and the other person that they are like being a douche to is a different skin color, it's automatically because this person is racist. It's not because he just doesn't like that person, or he's just having a bad day and taking it out on someone unnecessarily.
Right.
Like, it is automatically like racism. When in reality, more than likely, it had nothing to do with skin colors. Like, it has everything to do with people, personalities, and being dumb.
Or maybe, and I've always said this too, is that sometimes when you're mad, you look for things that'll make another person mad. And so if you automatically assume things like, oh, this person has a bald head, and just like, you bald-headed mother, and you just like let it roll out.
Yeah.
Sometimes things get misconstrued like that way. But I just think you're just creating these neurotic people who are constantly looking for these delusional things that aren't necessarily there, and they're just constantly searching for it. So,
and do you think they're doing that to validate why they keep consuming the same nonsense?
I think so. I mean, there's a website called Fake Racist Reports, or Fake Hate Crimes, or something like that. I used it as a source on one of my episodes a few days ago, but it's up to like a staggering number. It's like 400 or something, 200, either 200. I think it's in the 400s of just this year, people like reporting negative, like wrong. Like somebody like light a fire outside their apartment and then say like, oh, this my racist neighbor did it, and it turned out to be them or something, or not true. Yeah.
Or so it's like maybe it's a 13-year-old being a ridiculous person.
I know. We hold our like children up to such a high standard when it comes to just like what they say. They're just idiots.
I know.
These
kids
people have never worked with 13-year-olds before.
Why does anyone? I mean, okay.
Know. I love kids, but they're
don't get me wrong. Like, I think kids have extraordinary value. They are much more intelligent than I think a lot of us perceive as adults.
Yeah.
And they're important to society, very important.
Right.
But when you take things so seriously that a child with an underdeveloped brain says, that's on you.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like if you get offended by something a child says,
right.
that speaks about your own like emotional intelligence and ego. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, a middle schooler, of course they're going to call you fat.
Right,
they're fat and they're insecure about being fat. So of course they're going to call you fat. If you take that seriously, that's your fault for not realizing they're in middle school.
Or maybe do something about your fat. But I'm just kidding.
No.
But middle schoolers look for whatever weakness. They would always.
But like that's just kids.
Yeah.
This kid in swimming class one time told me I had bad breath. It offended me because it was true.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not afraid to let.
But
isn't that the worst when kids say that?
Yes.
Like, well, your breath is bad. You're like.
I laughed because it was so true and it was so blatantly honest. I'm like, it's a child. I'm not going to be like, that's rude. You shouldn't say that. Blah, blah, blah. It's 4 years old.
If a 4-year-old comes at me with that much heat, though, they need to expect to get it back.
No, but it wasn't like heat. It was constructive criticism.
So it was, It was just, which is always a good thing to know. And you got bad breath. I'm 4 and I can smell it.
Yeah. Honestly, I was thankful.
I don't know why. I don't know if it's education or politics or the news, just like propping up children's voices as a voice of reason. It's like out of the mouth of babes. We finally figured like, no. No, stop asking a 6th or a 9th grader what their thoughts are on global warming. I don't need to hear it. Or like their rights on gun control issues. Like I don't need to hear. You don't pay taxes. You don't even have your driver's license yet. You don't contribute to society. You just take.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And why are we allowing kids to make decisions like politically,
I don't. Yeah.
Like,
well, at least they're like propped up as such.
I thought we were the adults.
Well, I think it also stems from like some of these like children's networks that are just pushing political crap in the middle of their stupid shows. And you're just like, I thought this show was about like sharing, like that communist value, but
scary.
It is scary. I know. I did that one video of the 1st grade teacher teaching about masturbation in class. 1st grade.
Super appropriate.
1st grade.
Which means they're 6.
Yes.
1st graders are 6.
No, I don't think people realize. Like, I think people think 1st grade. They're like, oh, they're probably like 12 or 13.
They're 6.
No, 6 years old.
That's disgusting.
Learning about masturbating.
It's disgusting.
It is.
Like, did their parents know?
I don't
think
know.
I would sue.
They got her fired.
I think I would sue.
Yeah, well, 100%.
I think
like
I would file a lawsuit.
Kind of like a sexual trauma or something for a child.
Absolutely, it is.
6 years old, learning about masturbation in class. That's freaking weird.
Absolutely, that's traumatic. If you're not okay with that,
right?
If you're not accepting of that, if you have a 6-year-old brain and you don't consent to that,
right.
That is abusive. It's abusive.
Learning, you shouldn't be learning about that in school, anyways. Especially at 6.
Disgusting.
Like if a parent makes that decision, that's on the parents. But yeah, not a freaking teacher. Be learning about how to play Jenga.
Goodness, I don't even know what to make.
Yeah.
I mean, how sick of a person do you
what
have to be?
What would you do if you had a kid and you found out that was happening?
I literally would make the absolute biggest scene.
Yeah.
File a lawsuit. I would hire lawyers.
Yeah.
I would try to get not only her fired, but probably get something, some kind of compensation. I don't know, from the school board or what. I don't know the route you would go, but I would be beyond livid.
Mom was trying to get a Cadillac.
Absolutely beyond livid.
Right. Would you take your child out of that school?
Absolutely.
What if the school system is just as bad down the street?
It's not about the school system. It would be in my own home.
Oh, you'd take your kid out and put him in homeschool?
Likely.
Really?
I mean, with the way it goes right now, that's kind of how I
what is your thoughts on schooling children?
I don't know. I mean, I grew up in the public school system, and
same.
I value that so much.
Just for the social aspect.
Development for sure, and the learning how to, like, the teamwork aspect of it, like learning how to get along with many different types of people from many different backgrounds, socioeconomic, race backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds, cultural, everything. However, I don't know if this is true or not, but it feels like I had a more like traditional education of, like, in the terms of curriculum that I was taught. Like, I was taught actual, like, math and science and reading and literature.
Right, not social justice.
I wasn't taught like social.
No wonder you're so racist.
Yeah, I wasn't taught like philosophy, social, sociology, like theory or anything like that.
Yeah, why would in freaking school?
Right, because I was young, and so I feel like the education that I had would be much different from what like our kids get.
Right. Yeah, I think it depends on the school district. Also depends on like if there's good charter schools, because I'm a big proponent of those. I don't know.
I mean, this is the thing, is that this is what's sad, honestly, is that all of this stuff from the left and the progressives are doing more to segregate people than anything we've done in the last like 50 years.
Right.
Because you are going to have a lot of people with money who move to the nicer suburbs because they know those schools will not indoctrinate their children.
Right.
So you're going to have that divide of economic class where the wealthier people are going to leave the cities where all of that propaganda nonsense happens.
Right.
And you're going to like racially and socioeconomically segregate people even more because you were trying to indoctrinate children, which is abusive.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really think about that. That totally makes sense though.
Right? I mean, because not even just like the suburbs, whatever, but people are going to go to smaller towns and smaller communities.
I see that definitely happening.
And I mean, I'm all for it. I think it's great. People are going to do what they want to do. That's America. This is wonderful. But I don't think it will do anything to help segregation.
No, it'll make it way worse. I mean, we just had a month ago a high school graduation. There was like a graduation, and the thing is Seattle, normal graduation, and then they had a black only graduation. Are you afterwards.
Kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. You didn't know that? Isn't that so terrible?
Where was this?
I think it was Seattle. This is Seattle or Portland. It's one of those northwestern states, and people are just like
60s.
I know, people are just batting eyes like it's for their safety. It's like they need to feel safer, or like they need to feel like they can like act however they want when they walk on. It was.
So they literally created a blacks only.
Yes.
What year is it?
I don't think you had to do it, but I think it was like an option. But the fact that was even an option, that's just I know. What year is this? I don't know what year this is.
So you have to think, like, where do a lot of people of minorities live in the cities?
Right.
And what happens in the cities schools? A lot of what you see happening right now, this like critical theory.
Yes.
And the adoption of that curriculum across the nation, really, but like mostly in cities, right? Like the little small schools in like suburban towns and country towns, they're not gonna go for that.
No.
And so any parent who doesn't want their kid to grow up feeling ashamed, I'm just gonna say, any white parent who doesn't want their kids to grow up feeling ashamed because of their skin, like they are the oppressor when they're 5 years old, they're going to get those kids out of that school. Right. They're going to move their entire families away from the urban cities with the more minority populations.
Any child experiencing
and
that
so
kind of
it is.
thing
You're
should.
going to. I think you're going to see just more massive segregation, like specifically of white families leaving
the inner cities.
Yeah.
I see that. I think.
Yeah, because it doesn't necessarily. Like I think people of minorities who are against critical theory understand how harmful it is to society.
Right.
But they're no longer the ones like they are not feeling ashamed because of their skin color in cities.
Right.
Now it's white people who are. And so
that's so weird.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like white people will all just leave and find their own communities, and then
That's what I'm saying.
It's like exactly what the progressives want anyways.
But that's what they like preach against right now.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it comes down to the bottom line.
Yeah.
The dollar.
Yeah, they'll change their mind as soon as they realize that no one's paying, like, the tax.
They're going to get nothing.
I just wonder, I wonder what the difference in taxes in New York will be, even California, between last year and this year. So
what do you think they'll be?
The revenue is just going to go way down because of how many people left.
Mm-hmm.
I saw like Cuomo or somebody not too long ago was proposing, like, if you left during the pandemic and went to Florida or something, that you were going to have to, like, pay back. You were going to have to pay some kind of taxes where, like, they would, as a way to, like, leave almost.
From California?
From, like, New York or something. Like, you owe us money. It was just some kind of weird thing. It was, like, very mob bossy. Just like, hey, you're going to move down to Florida, then you're going to have to pay me 20%.
Literally. Like a gang.
I know. You're going to have to pay me about 20%.
Like, you still have dues that you owe.
Right. Yeah,
You better make good on those dues.
Because those states especially overspend so much. I just wonder.
Right. Well, don't you think that, like, that's why our federal government right now
is printing
so much money to bail out these
their friends
Democrat cities because
they already did that on the last COVID relief bill. That was pretty much the biggest chunk of it was bailing out these poorly run cities and states.
It's disgusting. It's deplorable.
Yes.
Honestly, makes me sick.
Yeah. No, it is sick. I mean, they're not gonna learn. It's at
the expense of the people, like good people.
But you have to. It's New York. That's why
That's why it's so evil, though, because it is literally at the expense of people who are just
you and me.
Yeah, like
yeah, right.
Working, trying to put food on the table,
right?
Pay our taxes, be in good standing with the government and good,
right,
and people
not breaking the law.
Yeah, not breaking the law. Like just trying to live our lives.
Right.
And then it's the people like that who get absolutely screwed over by these corrupt people.
Crazy.
Who are obsessed with their own power. Because we were too stupid to put term limits on every office seat.
I know. I don't even want to get started on that again.
I know.
That'll never happen. I don't see it ever.
Yeah, because they're the ones that have to vote on it.
Right. What are we gonna do? We can't do it. Like you want me to vote myself out? What are you nuts? I owe my people that voted me in. Yeah. Hey, what do you think about Steven Crowder getting totally owned on the H3?
I watched the whole thing. We watched the
whole
thing.
Totally destroyed. That was like the dumbest. That was literally the stupidest video ever.
Honestly, it made a lot of sense, though.
Which part?
The fact that, like, Ethan thought he won, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was the deceitful one, and he caught him.
Satan.
Seriously, though, like...
A bait and switch.
Yeah, it was a bait and switch.
You thought you were going to eat this apple?
Which is deceitful, and
right.
A person of character and integrity doesn't do things like that.
No.
It doesn't matter, like, how much you hate a person.
But he's a troll. Ethan's a troll, so that makes sense.
Well, then, I mean...
Then it makes sense.
Well, then is Steven at fault for obliging a troll?
in some degree, but it's also, I don't know. I kind of wanted him to like at least talk to Sam a little bit before they just started screaming, because I don't really know that relationship that well, and that was my first experience, and I was just like, what's going on?
It's chaotic.
It was crazy. They were just screaming at each other for like 20 minutes.
I know.
Or just talking over each other. And then like Sam kept talking over Crowder, but then Crowder was talking over Sam, and then Crowder was
and
like
the whole thing happening
so
over computer screens is hilarious to me.
I know. That's probably why it made it way worse.
I don't know why it was so just brutal to watch.
It was.
2 dudes fight over computer screen. Like, take it out to the parking lot. It'll be much more worth our time.
Steven got really angry. You could tell he really didn't want to talk to that guy. And I don't understand. I guess I don't understand why that.
Well, to his point,
I get his point.
To his credit, Ethan did like.
Right.
Was,
bait and switch.
Well, he was being like nice at the beginning and talking to Steven about his family. And, like,
that was weird.
He's like.
That was very maniacal.
He seemed genuine.
Right.
And the whole time knowing he was about to be a douchebag and flip it on him.
Right.
Like, that's just some shady right there.
That's seriously like very maniacal. And very like psychopathic.
Yeah.
Just like smiling while he hits you.
Right.
That's very weird. Especially because he was talking about very sentimental stuff with Steve Crowder.
Yeah.
About his wife's pregnancy.
Yeah, honestly,
and, like,
that's
pregnancy complications.
I could
and
understand.
That was so weird.
I could understand. Like, obviously, Steven seems like he probably does not open up personally to like many people.
Right. So there goes his trust.
Yeah. So I mean, if you gained my trust for a second and I valued it that much, and then you took it away like that, I would be.
Yeah, I get. Yeah,
I trust people more easily, but I could see him not.
This is why I needed you to correct my mind, because I could see why that would make me really mad too.
Right.
Especially as somebody that like he blatantly knows that I don't want to talk to.
Right.
Because I don't.
But it's not only the fact that it was not only the Sam Sater thing. It was that Steven was promised a debate between him and Ethan.
Right.
And Ethan.
Well, it was going to be a brutal smackdown.
Well, yeah, but I mean, an agreement is an agreement. Right. And when you break your word, like that would make me really angry too. Right. I do not hang out with people who don't have integrity like that.
And I'm going to be honest. I had no idea who Sam Sater was until that happened.
No clue.
So when Steven said, my audience doesn't know who you are, I was like, yeah, you're right.
He is right.
I had no idea who the F that guy was.
Right.
And I don't have a huge channel, but I don't expect people to know me, but like I don't know.
No, it just went to his point that, we don't know who he is.
Right. It was like, I saw Quarterback saying, I'm calling out LeBron James, beat me on 1-on-1. If he won't, I might just show up on the court.
Right.
And so I guess that makes sense. You like, if you become really big, you can't just like accept every single person's debate challenge.
Yeah. But now that it's such a big deal, like he should debate him.
I feel like he should too.
Just because now it's like, okay, well,
he might be mad, but he definitely was more scared to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the ball's in his court.
Mm-hmm. Or he's like so angry from the whole thing that he's like, I don't want anything to do with any of you guys.
I know.
Which I understand.
If I was Steven though, I would debate him. Because like that's pretty humiliating to be called out like that.
Yeah.
And bait and switch. Mm-hmm. And just like the pride, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but the pride in me would be like, all right, let's go talk.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree. I think you should have stayed and actually debated him.
But apparently Steven said that he just screams over you. He doesn't allow you to talk. So I don't know if that's true or not, but
well, he could have at least started it and then if that guy did that, he could be like, you know what, dude, I can't debate you if you don't give me a chance to talk.
Well, and I'm sure Sam Sater, he might be a very comparable debater, so you have to actually like prepare some stuff in your head, as opposed to he's like gonna go debate Ethan, who's even he himself said is dumb. So he didn't even probably prepare anything. He was just like,
well, I can understand, because with Steven Crowder's like change my mind stuff, it's clear that he has like researched that specific topic very well prior to showing up to
yeah,
discuss.
usually has that huge book with him.
Yeah. But that was a different scenario.
Right.
Where like the expectation was like they were going to debate a few topics that they already both knew about.
Right. I think, yeah, he was just going to talk to him about like CDC studies that changed, which I know you're not allowed to say, but I just said it. And like,
but if you don't, so I mean, it's on Ethan to have debated that. At least like debate the topics that you agreed to, you know?
Right. And then maybe
then
like throw
you're
them in
the
at
coward if you decide you can't even debate with a topic that was pre-selected for you.
Right.
Like that just shows a certain like laziness that you weren't willing to prepare any material for a debate on which you so strongly defended at one point, you know?
Do you think do you enjoy seeing channels call each other out? Because I know Steven said like, I don't want to get engaged in this petty online back and forth. I'd rather just do my show kind of thing.
It's entertaining from like a Real Housewives perspective.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, it's just nonsense to me.
Okay, because I love it. I freaking love it. So it's like, it reminds me of like being in middle school again and they're about to fight or something. You're just like, oh.
So remember over the weekend you had us take those personality tests?
Oh, yeah.
One of the questions was, agree or disagree? You enjoy watching people argue.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I did double agree. It's so much fun.
That is you times 100.
I just like, I marvel at it.
You and I will be like leaving a restaurant, and if there's like a fight happening as we're leaving, you will stop and stay and watch.
I gotta watch. You know, it could turn out to be really awesome.
Especially if it's like,
it's like street beefs.
You don't want to watch necessarily like people punch each other. You do. Okay.
No, okay.
But you enjoy like the yelling matches.
Yeah, I enjoy the build up. I enjoy the foreplay before the fight.
Oh my goodness.
I like just like I get really excited about some of like the verbiage that comes out of people's mouths when they are engaged in arguing. You don't like that?
Through knowing you, I have learned to enjoy it.
Okay.
Because I see the joy you get from it, and that brings me joy.
I think there's nothing funnier than me than watching an older gentleman get so flustered and angry, and he doesn't know what words to say, and like just something random comes out of his mouth. It's like, "You freaking grass eater, fart face," and you're just like, "Whoa, where did that come from?" And I think that brings me a lot of joy in life.
Specifically, older men getting angry.
No, just older women too is funny when because especially they're older and they're frail and they're just so cute. Oh, okay, so you do like it. Yeah, I like couple fights too. They're generally some of the best. Like, or when like.
I mean, I love some girl on girl crime, but again, that is Real Housewives. That's why I watch. Is that a sexual reference?
It felt like it. That's all that matters in 2021.
Not what I meant. I meant like Real Housewives.
I know what you meant.
Of Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, I totally. No, a good couple fight is incredible to watch, especially like a good breakup.
Yeah.
I've been in coffee shops where I've watched a good breakup where one person left.
See, now
and the other person stayed crying.
That makes me nauseous.
Why? Healthy.
I know, but it's so.
He and she are growing as people, as human beings.
I think you just like watching people grow.
Maybe that's it.
I think you are actually.
I know that person's ego and their their mind are being broken, and they're going to be built back up in a better way.
That is literally like your kryptonite.
It's my MO. Yeah.
It is.
That's why I love Bar Rescue.
I know.
It's such a stupid show, and it's so horrible, but at the same time, it's like Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen. There's something so awesome about watching someone like go through a mental breakdown and then build themselves back up and become a better person for it. And you're just like, John
Tapper, you saved my life, John. You called me out, John, and no one was calling me out.
Yeah. Especially when they're like the worst people at the start of the show.
Right, just don't.
And you're just like,
I hate that person.
Shake him down, John.
Shake him. He's like, okay, I'll get in your face.
I don't think you know who you're talking to.
I'm John Tapper.
But I don't know who's better, John Tapper or Gordon Ramsay at yelling at someone.
Oh, wait,
it's like British versus American. Yeah, or like breaking someone down and building them back up.
Two different things. Yelling is Gordon Ramsay. Building up,
because he's English.
Building back up is John Tapper.
Okay. I can see where that train of thought goes.
Gordon Ramsay seems like more truly angry, whereas John Tapper
he's got like a cocaine problem.
He what?
No, I'm just kidding.
John Tapper,
like he feels like he does.
John Tapper seems like he knows he's gonna come back and build up.
Okay.
So like part of the anger,
part of the plan.
Part of the anger is like a little more thought out, pre-planned.
Okay.
Premeditated.
He's got the New York anger, like you expect it.
Right.
Like if you call it.
Whereas Gordon Ramsay, like I think if he yelled at me, if he even looked at me, I'd probably start crying.
Gordon Ramsay has better curse words or like bad words or
insults,
better punchlines than John Tapper does.
Totally.
The way he like talks about people's cooking is always my favorite.
That's true. He has good analogies.
And he never sometimes when you cook for me, I want to do that to you.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I'll never cook for you again.
Sometimes I'm like, hey, I'm gonna Gordon Ramsay this moment.
Tastes like horse.
This tastes absolutely horrible.
Yeah, but it's more specific than that.
I know. Oh,
good.
I love Gordon Ramsay and John Tapper.
They should do a show together.
Oh my God, yes.
What
would it be called?
They should do live conferences together.
like with what's his face?
Mm-hmm.
Who were you thinking of?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Tony Robbins.
Tony freaking Robbins.
John Tapper and Gordon Ramsay.
Okay, I would go to that with John Tapper and Gordon Ramsay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to they were on a panel and you got to ask them questions.
Nope.
Or just hey, can you yell at me for a minute?
Yep.
How much would you pay to have them yell at you? Well, what's the minimum max?
I'd pay $50.
50, not 100?
No.
You wouldn't pay $100 to have John Tapper and Gordon Ramsay yell at you at the same time?
Okay, 100.
You wouldn't pay $500?
No.
Okay.
How much would you pay?
I would pay. Yeah, I'd pay 100.
100.
I think a cold hundo. If I was rich, I'd probably pay 1,000.
What would you hope they would just destroy you about?
Oh, jeez. It's what is your most insecure idea?
Yeah, what do you hope they drill you on?
I don't know. That's so deep and inappropriate for this podcast.
Yeah, but it's emotionally aware. You're forced to think of this insecurities and what you really on.
I don't know. Is there something that comes to your mind? Not for me, but for yourself. Let's keep this PG.
I don't know. See, because this brings up where are your blind spots.
Right.
I think you and I try our best to work hard on the things that we know we struggle with. But knowing your blind spots.
Right.
How do you know? It's blind.
Right. What is my blind? I don't know. Maybe the opposite. What if they just told you how incredible of a person you are and that was what you need?
Oh goodness.
Totally flip it on you.
Oh goodness. That would be really cool.
You think they're about to yell at you, but instead they just look at you and they just like tell you how amazing you are.
You know, Krista, sit down.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Krista, just why don't you have a seat?
Sit down.
I just want you to know that you're just one big, awesome human being. And then you get a hug from John Tapper and Gordon Ramsay cooks you something nice.
Yeah.
I'd be in for that. You?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I would probably pay $250 for.
Okay, now we're talking. Yeah, like a dinner.
A dinner and a hug.
$250? I would go for $250. I'd go $300.
Dinner and a hug.
Maybe a cool $500.
That sounds amazing, actually.
Especially from Gordon Ramsay, and just like you'll get life lessons from them too.
Right.
And maybe at the end of it, you open up your own bar / restaurant.
Yeah, because you were so inspired.
Yeah, because they're inspiring people.
The best thing they've ever done for their own competition.
What other show like that could be made, like in another industry? Not food and bev.
Yeah, we gotta cut out food.
Healthcare. No. Education.
Retail.
Dude, retail. The way you're stocking that. What? I guess you could do mom and pop retail, but
yeah, you could do mom and pop.
Does it only work in food and bev?
I think it only works in mom and pop. Anything.
Mom and pop anything. Because it's a little bit more stressful.
Yeah, because you're on your own.
Yeah.
And that's amazing if you make it. But
right.
If not, it's all on you, and that's like a lot of.
That's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure.
Especially when you're handing it down to somebody else or something like that.
Yeah.
Any kind of mom and pop. I feel like, do you think like all mom and pop places are just like dying? Besides like major cities, do they survive in
small
the suburbs?
Cities? Absolutely. I think that's where they survive the most.
Okay. And you think in major cities they don't?
Well, maybe not.
So
maybe
expensive?
Not suburbs, but like smaller towns.
Right. Yeah, because they don't have to pay the taxes on the street.
Well, I mean, big box stores don't want to go to small towns. They're gonna make so much money.
Yeah.
I mean unless you're like Walmart, but I'm talking about.
I was about to say, yeah, Walmart and Amazon are in those. And I feel like even people in rural areas probably know how to click.
Yeah, there's definitely at least a Walmart. So maybe you're right.
Kind of sad.
Oh, it's really sad.
Global reset is here.
Today was the first time I thought to myself.
Why? Just because of how crazy people are?
We were in a very crashy.
Be careful.
It just seems like society has let go of themselves.
Well, I would say that our morals have changed to be less away from like Christianity and stuff.
Right.
And so because of that, people are more free to do whatever they want. But in a sense, just because you feel free doesn't mean you're free.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that saying that train is always freer on its tracks.
True.
And I know we're not a train, but I know for myself, like the more, if I set a time to wake up, or set a time to go to sleep, if I do my meals right, I'm better off as a human being. So the more things I can build up, the better. Even though I hate it. It's just so weird.
Do it because it.
Right.
Knowing that you stayed in your tracks.
Yeah. You think everyone should live in the rural areas and repopulate that?
No, not necessarily.
You think everyone should become farmers in their own backyard?
Not necessarily.
Just in case the pandemic happens again? And you have food?
No, but I think it's wise.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it is wise for people how to grow food.
Oh, I always feel like I want to learn, but I don't.
A lot of work.
It's so much work, and like do people have time for that after the job? They've worked all day and just go home and garden.
No, so I mean,
Gotta have a stay-at-home person to do gardening.
You have to have a stay-at-home gardener.
I'm a stay-at-home garden nanny.
Yeah.
I just like.
I watch over my peppers.
Wait, that's actually a good idea.
To be a stay-at-home garden nanny?
No, a garden nanny for other people.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You keep their gardens fresh.
It's like a landscaping company. But yeah, garden nanny. That sounds like an app.
It didn't flash out very well.
Yeah, no,
garden nanny. It does sound like an app.
Hi, garden nanny for hire. What can you do?
I'm Cynthia. I'm here to garden.
I have a really great green thumb, and I'm really good with peppers, hot peppers, cold peppers, green peppers, and corn.
Where are you doing corn?
That's me. I am great at corn.
I'm really good at fruits.
Yeah, I'm a huge fruit person. Oh, we're in the desert. Oh.
Well, we can do indoor.
Yeah.
Whatever. Well, this has been a fun podcast.
I've had a great time.
I've had the terrible time.
Cool.
But let's never do it again.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for watching this show. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much. It means so much that you took time out of your day just to watch us. I hope you enjoy the new setup I have going on with the green screen shirts, and we have DC in the background of our bodies as we speak. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Check out my latest videos as always, and share this all over social media platforms everywhere so everyone knows about Carissa O'Shea and Derek O'Shea and the O'Sheas.
Have a great night of sleep, everybody.
Yeah. No, seriously, have the best night of sleep you've ever had. And buy a pillow from Costco that has charcoal